Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here with my Flosstube update number 444. Today is Saturday, July 25th, 2026, and I'm back. Had been thinking. I think I mentioned this like 2 weeks ago that I was hoping to possibly do an update last week, like on Friday night or something, because of Midsummer Stitch, which was Saturday and Sunday, and I totally forgot about it on Friday, and then B just had other stuff going on over the weekend, and along with the Midsummer Stitch, and so I just didn't do an update last weekend. So I have a few things to show you and talk about, including a couple of finishes and what's coming up for August WIPGO. And I forgot my cross stitch camp piece, but that'll wait till. Well, it'll start on the first, but I'll elaborate on that further because I don't have it here. I don't think. Do I have it? I don't think I have it here with me. I think it's my August cross stitch camp piece. Anyway, I don't have it. So we did do our Three Sisters update this morning, and so I'm doing my regular update today. So I'm trying to. I thought I was organized, but I'm not really. I'm not. So my finishes. I have two finishes. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a crap-a-lanche here, trying to organize myself. Like I said, I'm making a mess here. Just move things around a little bit. Sorry. I'm confusing myself. I moved things around. I had everything organized, for our Three Sisters video. I had things in a set up in such a way, and then when I brought everything over here, I kind of just organized it so it wouldn't fall over on everything. So I've got a little bit of a crap-a-lanche and a mess going on here. Okay, so first of all, for WIPGO for July. For July, I was working on the Beaver, which is Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods. This is number 11 of the 12. So I was doing the Beaver, and I had basically the whole tail to do, and then this tree and the darker, some of these leaves all together. These down here, I think I had not done any of them, and then the darker shade on the leaves up here. I had done the tree. I had done most of the Beaver. I had to do this pecan. It's a Weeks Fireworks pecan. This brownish, light brown, rusty color. And I think I had only done one. Part of one foot and not the other, and not this front pot. So I had a lot to do on this chart, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to have it finished. I'm trying desperately to finish all of these animals, and so far I'm doing good. I've finished. I think I had finished the fox, which is number 1. I think I had finished the fox and the swans last year. So I had like number 3 through number whatever to do 12 to do today this year, and I think I actually, let me look. Yeah, I had done number 1 and number 2, and so I had all of the rest of them to do this year. So I have not done number 3. That hasn't come up on my WIPGO yet, or 10 or 11. I mean 10 or 12. So those 3 I've not finished. although they're close in one way or another. But this is the Beaver. This is number 11, and I finished it. And if you were watching the Midsummer Stitch, I did appear in the finish parade at the end, and I said, I held the pattern up. I said, called it the Beaver, and then when I was holding up the finish and discussing it, I called him a raccoon. For some reason, I have a hang up about, I keep referring to this beaver as a raccoon. It's not a raccoon, it's a beaver, hence the tail, right? So anyway, I finished it. I was kind of bummed about all the stitching in this tail, all the dark stitching. I think I hadn't even finished like some of these little patterns, and there's a blue detail in the tail, and I had not done that. So I had that to do. I had to finish these little 4-stitch things, and then do all the gray around them. And so that was kind of a bummer. I got tired of doing that. I got even tired of doing this pecan color because you had to go around all, you had to stitch around all these little, I had done all these little star, whatever, symbols. And that, I would rather have solid stitching where you're just going back and forth, than to have to sort of like wend your way around all these little things, because it kind of dictates, where you're going back and forth, or, whatever, because of the fact that you're using fancy floss, and the fact that on some of these, on this and this, I had done it, these two colors, this pecan color, the lighter rusty brown of the beaver's haunch and shoulder here, and this darkest gray of the you use it on the tail, and you use it on this tree and this tree here. Those are the Week Styleworks colors, and the rest are DMC. And so I gave myself a break, and I worked on the DMC to get away from this big tail. But so I finally finished it. And so anyway, this is number 11 of the 12 Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods, from 2022. It's a while back. So anyway, this is the one I'm working on now. The little brown bat and the reindeer. That's number 10 and number 12. And then I have number 3, the jackrabbit, to do. And that's the one that actually got me started on this whole series. A girl whose Flosstube I used to watch. I don't know if she she doesn't do a Flosstube anymore, I don't think. I don't know. But she was the one who had the chart for the jackrabbit, which is number 3 of this series. And she held it up, and I was like, oh my God, I love that. And then I got the whole series. And so, anyway, so I finished the Beaver. So I only have 3 of the 12 left to go. And when those come up in WIPGO, I'm hoping I will be able to finish them. Anyway, so the Beaver. That's one of my WIPGO charts finished. I'm making a pile over here, I think. We'll see. So then the other finish I had for the month of July was my cross-stitch camp piece for July. And the challenge was stitch something patriotic. If you're in the U.S., something for the, oops, I've got this upside down, for the semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the U.S. And if you're outside of the U.S., you were encouraged to stitch something with the colors of your flag of your country. Anyway, so I chose Freedom Flock. This is a Plum Street Samplers chart. And there's, I don't know if you can see it on here, there's a little baby eaglet, and then one eagle there, and this wing spread eagle. And then various, there's a flag, there's these little Quaker things. There's a bee right there. There's a bee here. Anyway, so the Beaver is stitched 2 over 2, and I keep calling this 32 count linen, but I don't know if it's 32 or 28. I don't know. It seems like 32 to me, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But this is 36 count fabric from, I think it was Bestitch Me, but it was a grab bag of these smaller cuts that was sent to us by a friend of ours from school. Vicky, I think it was, that sent it. So anyway, this is 36 count even weave. It's just beautiful fabric. But so I stitched it 1/2 on this 36 count fabric using all the called for threads, and it's a combination of Fancy Floss, I think Weeks, and I think there's a couple of one or two color and cotton. I think this lighter brown is hickory. I think hickory sticks and trail dust are in there, along with various Weeks Dyeworks colors and a few DMC colors. But yeah, so there's like some greenery down here under this eagle's feet, and he's got a red, white, and blue little shield here. And there's another eagle, and then this eagle has 1/1 stitching around the eye and the face, basically, of the eaglet. And he's holding, you can't really see the wings as much because they're grayish, but he's holding this little flag thing. So yeah. But anyway, this was my cross stitch camp piece. So I started it on July 1st, and I finished it on the 21st. I think this 21st. Yeah. So that's done. So it says 1776 here. There's the bee, the little bee. Yeah. So that's done. So for August, my cross stitch camp piece is Glory in the Wind, and that's the one I meant to bring with me here, and I did not. So, but I will talk about that next week, I think, because next week I will have started my cross stitch camp stuff at that point. So for my other WIP for July was this Dust of Snow, which is a Lindy Stitches pattern. Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches designed this. Dust of Snow, it's a Robert Frost poem. I think I read it last time, but I'll read it again. It's been 2 weeks. The way a crow shook down on me, the dawn of... excuse me. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I rued. So I just loved this design the minute I saw it. I love that big crow. I love the poem. And then there's a bunch of design elements that, Beaver border it. So when I started this last time, I had done this corner, basically, this corner pattern and the crow, and part of the first 2 lines of this poem. So I've made a little bit more progress. I've done this brown branch thing, and I finished this part of the poem. And then I'm working on, I've got some of the snow and some of the, ouch, sorry, I've got a pain on my back, my side. The brown goes down here, into these little, what do you call it, hemlock boughs or whatever they are, these little cone things, and so I did some of that. I've done the sort of the brown outline of it because it comes off of this brown branch here, and then I did a little bit of this sort of white snowdrop kind of things here around the words. So and I started on I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this white part of the border, see those brown things there, or that, like, there's some little greenery that goes along underneath this, and there's another color of stitching that goes in between these little white stitches in the border here, as you can kind of see. Anyway, so I worked some on that. I finished the wording on the first half of the poem, and then I worked on this bow here. And you know, this is it was charted in silks with the DMC conversion, so I'm using the DMC, and in a couple places in the DMC I changed the conversion. I mean, I chose a slightly different shade to make it look a little bit more like this picture. And it's hard because like it's you know, like it's a silk, it's done in silks, and there's a little, you know, bit of a difference in the conversions, and so I'm working on it still. But this heart on the stitches that are the closest here, closest to the solid part of the heart, there's a light blue color between the things, and I thought I had not done it yet, and I looked at it, you know, I was all ready to stitch, and because this is like the color of this fabric, when I got up close and I looked at it, it's like that's stitched already. I stitched that already. It's the same color as this fabric, so you can't really tell. And so that color goes down here as part of the border down below the second part of the poem, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it when it's all sort of more dense all together. It might show up better than it does in this heart here, but I might have to go a shade darker to make it show up. It's this little border here. The lightest blue color, you know, the lightest color is this top of this border, this sort of sawtooth border, light colored border, and I don't know how well that'll show up against this fabric, but you know, I probably won't even get to that this month, because the month is just a few more days. Out of the 7 days, I think today is the fifth day of the 7 that I usually have as goals for WIPGO, and I may go ahead and, you know, just, you know, press on to the end of the month, take a few more than 7 days, but there's not much of a month left. So anyway, so yeah, I've done a little bit of the white. It's hard to see here also, right there by the crow. There's a snowflake, and then there's some little snowdrops along here around these words, and then there's, you know, more just snow stuff, snowflakes, snowdrops here and there. And the white on this will show up a little better with the other color of this border, but and there'd be more of these little stem things here and trees and stuff like that. So this is probably definitely not going to be finished by the end of this month, but I hope to make a little more progress on it. I don't know. And then my 2 new starts for this month are include this butterfly kit. I just bought this at Hobby Lobby on a whim, I guess. At Hobby Lobby, I think. It's a Bucilla kit. This butterfly, and you see, like, it has one wing that is this color, and then one wing that is made up of flowers. I think it's just, yeah, butterfly flowers is the name of the kit, the Bucilla kit. So, you know, when I first glanced at it, it looks like, it just, to me, like, oh, it's just a yellow and black, you know, dark design. But there's several shades. There's, you know, a couple of shades of yellow. There's green, there's brown, as well as black. Yeah. So this being a kit, it came with all the threads and stuff. They're all like basically DMC threads, I believe. But it came with a piece of white Aida, and you all know I've talked about before how I just have an aversion to stitching on white. So I dyed the fabric that it came with. I dyed it a sort of a light green. It's hard to see in here, but get this behind it. See if that helps it a little bit. It's like there's the RIT dye I had is called I think it was called Truly Green or something like that. And so I did it, and I just like dipped it in for just a very short time. I used it full strength, and then just it wasn't even in. I don't think it was even in 30 seconds. And so it's hard to see on camera here, but it's just a very nice sort of light green. I can't tell. I can't make it show up right on camera, but it's just a light green. But I think it will be very pretty with the green, the yellows on there, and there's like some darker greens to be the little flower fronds or whatever. And I think this kit even comes with this hoop to finish it in. I don't know. I haven't decided if that's how I'm going to finish it or not. But anyway, so there's that. This is one of my new starts for this month. So I'm going to put in a little bit. I don't have any specific goals, so I don't know how much that I'll stitch. And then my other new start for this month is this Midsummer Moth by Lindy Stitches also. And this was a pattern that was released last year, I think. Let's see what it says in here. Yeah, 2025 at the Midsummer Stitch event last year. So, and this has a Shakespeare quote in it. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste, wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste, and therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. So that's from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah. So so this is stitched on, I think, on black Aida, 60 count black Aida. And I have more of this. This is the purplish black linen fabric. This says, I think it says that it's 28 count. No, 32, I think, apparently, maybe. Belfast. But so I'm going to use part of this. This is the same color of fabric that I used for. It's a owl. Is it Harvest Moon or it's something? But it's an owl. What is it called? Oh, hold on a second. I think I have the name of it right here. Oops. Oh, there goes my pen. Sorry. What is it called? Under the Full Moon. That's what it's called. This is the fabric I used for Under the Full Moon, which is an owl and a moon and all that. I mean, I just barely started it. It was another one of my new starts. But so I had this big piece of fabric. This is the same size fabric that I stitched the Year in the Woods animals on, 3 at a time on it. So it's a pretty big piece of fabric. So I'm just going to use the end of it and stitch this. And I have another piece that goes on dark fabric also that I might use more of it on that. So, but anyway, so this is my other new start for the month of July. And so that takes care of July because July is almost over. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, so the WIPGO numbers came out for August, and which are number 19 and number 23, I believe. Yeah, 19 and 23. So I think it was my number 19, yeah, is Frostbite. This is by Ardith Designs. This is Amanda May MacNaughton of Ardith Design. So this is Frostbite, the little snowman, but he's got a big bitey mouth. He's got a little top hat, and then it's kind of like a what do you call it, snow globe design. So he's got snow underneath, and then this blue, dark blue circle around him, and then these branches here to make the sort of shape of the snow globe, and then this little snowman in the middle of it. So I think this little snowman is not quite done. Yeah. I didn't do his body yet, this white of his body and this little zigzaggy bottom of the border, and then I have to do all the outside part of it. So, but I did do, let me get this behind it here a little bit. I did do the actual snowman. There's his hat and his head. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done the fill in underneath. This is the outside of the snowman, I think. Yeah. So like this white, you can't see it here, but this white goes underneath. It goes around here, and then there's that little zigzaggy border of color on the bottom here, and then there's white around here, which makes the snow globe shape, and dark blue around here, and then those little silvery branches. I don't know. I don't remember cutting down this fabric. I don't think it didn't come as a kit. So I don't know if I had this little piece of fabric and I figured it was the right size or something. Because it makes me nervous that it seems awfully small. Like I'll have like maybe just a little bit of a border to work with. So it remains to be seen how I'm going to finish it. But anyway, yeah. So there's a little bit. So I may be able to go ahead and finish this in next month. So because it just has, the fill in on the snowman, and then what's going to be hard is the outside, that dark blue, because there's a lot of it, a lot of stitching. And then there's a little. Looks like, I don't know if it's a bat or, yeah, here, and there's one down here. Yeah. So, yeah. This the dots and stuff on the fabric are what the fabric was finished on, whatever, these little dots. This is not stitched. Anything outside, it's just that goes up to the, this part is stitched. But, so, yeah. So that's one of my August WIPGO projects. And my other WIP for August is Dutch Winter. This was a birthday gift from one of my followers. Thank you. And this is a limited edition, this is Twin Peak Primitives Dutch Winter. And if you buy the special edition things, you not only get the pattern, because you can buy the pattern as a PDF, whatever, or you can buy a hard copy, or you can buy this limited edition, which comes in its own project bag with the picture printed on the outside, and it also comes with some floss drops with the picture printed on them, and it comes with this beautiful little, sorry, I'm making a mess here, needle minder with the picture printed on it. So it was a new start last year, so I got part of it done, just the very middle of it. There's this little tree branch, wintry tree branch, and then this block here, there's a man walking beside this, this is part of his, I think that's his hat. You can see it. I just started in the middle, so I started right here. This is that hat, and the gray part of this branches. I haven't done the snow or anything like that. So it just barely got started in the middle of it. So I'm going to try to make some good progress on it next month. Again, my goals for these, for the WIPGO project, my goal is 7 days. So that I should be able to make some progress. I'm sure I'm not going to finish that, but you know, I should make some good progress on it. And I hope to finish the frostbite pattern. So let me just move these over here so I don't have a cravalanche. As I already sent my pen flying. Excuse me 1 minute while I get my pen. I don't want to forget it there. So one other thing I wanted to touch on was Midsummer Stitch, which was fun. I only purchased a couple of things. One of which, I meant to get some fabric that I ordered that was, I think, an exclusive for the Midsummer Stitch. A real pretty. I meant to get it and I forgot. It's in my mailbox right now, right this very minute. But sorry, I'll for sure have it next weekend. But so I ordered that. I ordered the fabric, and sorry, let me move this over here. And then I ordered this pattern. Oh wait, before I finish that, before I get to that, I didn't finish August. So my new starts for August, excuse me, are this Tiny Modernist Nativity Scene. And this is done on black Ada, but I may or may not do it on black Ada. I have a piece of black Ada to stitch it on. I think this is stitched on, I want to say, 14 count, yeah. And I think the piece of black Ada, but I might do it on that dark fabric that I have, that piece of linen. I might do it on that. I don't know, because it just depends on how, because it's very colorful flosses on there, and I don't want them to compete with the fabric, but they might not. But so yeah, so that's the Nativity Scene. There's the wise men, Mary and Joseph. There's some cattle and angel, and there's the city of Bethlehem. There's some sheep, yeah. So yeah, that's the Nativity Scene. That's one of my new starts. My other new start for August is, let me take it out of the plastic, sorry. Bunny's House is what it's called. And it comes with, I have it partially kitted up. I think there's 1 week Star Works and the rest are color and cotton, fancy flosses, and then a bunch of DMCs. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DMCs. But anyway, this is Bunny's House by Emily Call. Let me get that a little closer. So it's a big giant carrot made into a house, and there's some Easter eggs, and this little bunny. He has kind of sad. His little eyebrows are like, but very cute. I'll probably have to take the pattern and like, you know, copy it larger because it's very tiny. I don't know if it's, you know, to make it fit better in this format or whatever, but it's yeah, it's very small. But it's only I want to say, ouch. Yeah, 90 by 90 stitches, so it's not very big. So I don't know that I'll be able to finish it, of course, but I'll make a significant dent in it. And so then, like I said, the other thing is the cross-stitch camp piece, which is, the prompt was stitch something new to you. So I'm doing Glory in the Wind by, I want to say Robin Pickens. Yeah, Robin Pickens, I believe, is the designer for that. And I've never done anything by Robin Pickens before. So, and I just didn't bring that in here. But I will for sure have it next week because I'm starting my cross-stitch camp stuff on August 1st. So, and that should be Saturday? Yeah, I think Saturday. Next Saturday. Oh, next Saturday's August 1st. Yeah. So I'll for sure have that stuff. So the other purchase I made at the Midsummer Stitch was this by the Blue Flower called A Boat of Magic is the Moon. A Boat of Magic, what it's called, I guess, is the title. A Boat of Magic. Yeah. So Boat of Magic is the Moon. There's a woman and this rabbit, and they're riding on the crescent moon here. You can see it, just see it here. And there's some giant pumpkins and a giant moth and some flowers. Another beautiful design by Jeanine McGowan of the Blue Flower. Yeah, she just does and I don't know if it's strictly a companion piece, but it reminds me very much of is it Night Came Down? I think is the other one. Yeah, I think it's called Night Came Down. I don't know, but it reminds me of that. Yeah. I just love Jeanine McGowan's designs. Just, yeah. It does call for a lot of Weeks Dye Works and a couple of Color and Cotton, and I don't think I might have one of the Weeks Dye Works colors, maybe 2 or 3, but it calls for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It calls for 9. I think I have 2 for sure, and maybe 3. But yeah, it's kind of a long list. And the DMCs and stuff like that. So it's going to take me a lot to kit that up. And this is, what does it say? 255 by 150. 255 wide by 150 high. So it's not very, terribly big this way, but it is kind of, long. Yeah. And like you said, very dense. So it says for some of these colors, it'll take two skeins of thread if you're stitching with 2 strands or whatever, so, which I will be doing. So yeah. Stop.